All right, class, welcome. Week one, I'm going to go through our syllabus today. If you have any questions, please email me. I ask so that you read the syllabus first, as it is very detailed. And then after, if you have questions, please give me a reach out. I do want to say that even though this class may be overwhelming at first, I want you to trust the process and think about a skill that you mastered when you were younger or even mastered later on in life, or how much work and time it took to practice the skill before you mastered it. So that's what's going to happen with our theoretical approach and interventions and just therapeutic skill. It's just trust the process, and it's going to take time. It's going to take patience. But if you keep practicing it and put the time into it, that you will eventually learn to master some of these skills. So let's go ahead and scroll down to the course requirements. Here's the textbook, required materials. All right. And then it is an 8-week intensive. So it's going to be a lot packed into these 8 weeks. So first, course requirements. Participation is going to be key. And so what's going to happen is at the beginning of the week, I'm going to record a lecture with the PowerPoint. And then you're also going to have to read and interact with the literature, with the textbook. And then I will also probably upload a quick video, like a YouTube video, to help you further understand the theory. And so being able to make sure that you fully watch the lectures and do the reading will help you to understand some of these foundational concepts that you'll need in our profession. All right, the second is a reflection paper. So reflection paper, what this is there's no right or wrong way. I just want to see how you are critically analyzing and think about the theory. I don't want you just to copy and paste from the textbook or from the internet what the theory is about or concepts of the theory. I want to see how you're digesting and understanding the theoretical model. This is going to be a chance for you to see if this is a good fit with your personality. For example, one of the theories, CBT, it is very like logical, and you're identifying your thoughts. And then a correlation between thoughts, feelings, and actions. Well, you will have like Rogerian. Rogerian is very person-centered, very heavy validation. And so you want to take a kind of step back and like analyze this theory, and then also talk about some of the strengths and challenges you personally might face with this theory, because awareness is key. You're going to bring yourself into the therapeutic relationship. And not all theories are going to align with your personality or even your values. You might find a certain theory annoying or frustrating, and there might be some theories that you really enjoy. So the purpose of this is just to raise awareness around just what you think about the theory. And then you're going to reflect on how the theory aligns with certain biblical principles. And so there's going to be 3 of those. The second is quizzes. What's going to happen is after you do the reading and from the lectures, you're going to take a quiz in Moodle. It is going to be an open book, open note quiz. I'm not so much concerned about you memorizing the information. I just want to be able to see if you've done the reading or not. And so this assignment will help to gauge if you've done the reading. If you've done the reading and you have an open book quiz, this quiz should be a piece of cake. And there's no time limit on the quiz. The third is role plays. So you're going to be divided into a triad. It's going to be you, it's going to be one of your cohort members, and then a third person. I'm going to let you guys choose your own triad. If it becomes a problem where the class has difficulty coming up with their own triads, and I can step in, I can create them for you. But I want you to feel comfortable with this being some of your first master's class or second. So go ahead and get into a triad. If you can create those as soon as possible, that would be very helpful. So what you're going to do is you're going to practice using this theoretical approach in a mock session. You're going to record the session and then you're going to upload it in Moodle. And so each person is going to have a chance to be the therapist, the client, and the observer. The observer is going to watch the therapist in session, observe their clinical skills, and you're going to take notes. There is a template in Moodle for the observer to follow, just looking at, was the therapist using the interventions appropriately? Did they adhere to the model? You know, things that you've observed, strengths, maybe in growth areas. So once again, get into a triad, and you're going to take turns being the therapist, the client, and the observer. Now, I will encourage you guys, if you're the client, make up something. Do not use this time to talk about a real issue, because a lot of times the amazing thing about our profession is if the therapist asks just the right question, then all of a sudden the floodgates open. And I want this to be a very safe space that's contained. And so try to use a made up presenting problem. If you do want to use a real problem, I would say try to make it the most surface level problem ever. We're not here to trick our therapist. We're not here to trick our colleague. We want to make this as easy for them as possible. So take something light, like you're having conflict with your daughter, or you can't get your dog to train properly or socialize properly, or you are having a hard time completing your homework assignment. Pick something light as the client. And so everybody's going to be the client, everybody's going to have to be the therapist, and then the observer. It's going to be 20 minutes to practice utilizing the skill. I do want to hear the therapist talk more than the client. So client, please make sure that you really limit how much you can talk. If you are a talker, please be mindful of that, because you want to give space for your colleague to practice the theoretical orientation. So clients, talk very little. And then therapist, I want you to be doing a lot more of the talking. Okay. And then the last is the final paper. So not the last, sorry. Number 4 is the final paper. So what you're going to do is, this is a chance for you to conceptualize your clinical work within a theoretical model. So I want you to pick one theory that we've learned in this class, and then you're going to apply it to a specific case vignette that I give you in class. And so how the paper is going to be broken down is an overview of the theory. You're going to basically plug this fake client, that's a vignette, into the theory. And so you're going to, from this theoretical approach, how does this theorist identify problems? How does this theorist identify pathologies and the dysfunction? And you're going to be using actual words that theorists use to describe constructs. Then what you're going to do is you're going to apply the theory. And this is where you're going to use actual theoretical language to say, what are some of the treatment goals from this theory? What are some specific interventions from this theory? A quick example is if the client that I give you struggles with anxiety. One thing that we will learn is like a solution-focused approach. Solution-focused approach would be to rate the level of anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10. So that would be an example of using a specific theory on how to help treat somebody that has anxiety. We're actually not covering solution-focused in this class. We will the next class. That's just an example. Then what I want you to do is to identify the different stages of the theory. Now, some theories don't have stages and some do. If the theory that you choose doesn't have stages of therapy, then you're going to write that. And you're going to see, how would you then know when the client is ready to terminate based on this theory? And so at the stages, you're going to identify the beginning stage of therapy, the middle stage of therapy, and then the termination stage of therapy. So from this theorist, what do you do in the very beginning? What do you do in the middle of treatment? And what do you do at the end of treatment? And then you're going to talk about some reflections. You might after you do your paper realize you don't like this theory and you think this theory is annoying, that's fine. Talk about it. Talk about your struggles with this theory, or talk about some of the strengths that you see with this theory. This is a place for you just to reflect about what you are seeing as a result of diving in and studying this theory. And then the last is to discuss your thoughts about faith integration. So in which ways do you see spirituality would impact the administration of this model? Do you see faith contradict parts of this theory? Do you see parts of this theory where faith actually can be very easily integrated and intertwined? So that is going to be the paper. I really encourage you guys to do APA formatting. Use the Writing the Lab if you need help. If you submit a paper to me and there is no proper APA citing or formatting, that is considered plagiarism, and I will give the paper back to you. It's really important that you do proper citing and that you just don't copy and paste information from like the internet. Okay. And the last is what you're going to do is you're going to do a case conceptualization assignment. We are going to be using Helen. She is the identified patient that we're going to be talking about in our class. And what you're going to do is you are going to use the same vignette, Helen, and you're going to conceptualize Helen 3 different times through 3 different theoretical models. And the purpose of this is I want you to really practice understanding how to apply a theory with the same presenting problem. What you will find is that sometimes theories overlap. Sometimes theories say the same thing. You might